What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement, still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail. What happens when the protection attacks? So, Raising Canaan, was watching some of the clips or whatever. I watched some of the shows. I didn't watch them all, but I had to go back to some things. And when Jukebox, got into it with Marvin, and he called her Lebanese. Hilarious. He meant lesbian, if you don't know. Is you a Lebanese? But they got into it. And I thought about that because it's kind of depicted in the 80s, basically. And, the crack era. And you fast forward to where we at right now, 2021. And for maybe the last 3 years, we're not being protected has been on social media, but for years prior to that, there was the idea that ladies like being with thuggish guys or thugs or gangsters or bad boys or people posing as such because they like to feel protected. And the look on Jukebox's face, great acting, was a look of what the like as hard as she thought she was. I mean, her thing was more of she thought she was a guy and she could take a guy type of thing, and then she wound up getting choked by a man, and she realized she didn't have it, and she wasn't as tough as she thought. But it's also this depiction of these are the guys who are gonna protect you. Like, people believe that in all of those gangster movies, all the Godfathers, the Scarfaces, these guys protect women. No, they don't. They slap women around, they beat women, they kick them. These are the guys who sell women drugs. These are the guys who exchange sex for drugs or whatever. These are the guys who beat women. These are the guys who, as recently guys come online, calling men out for not being real men, but in their real lives, they're domestic abusers. Like, what happens when these protectors attack? Because a lot of times when people think about the guys who are quote unquote lame or they're soft or they don't have enough edge, you know what you don't really hear out of those type of guys? Assault against women. You don't really hear them assaulting women. Or you're not going to hear this lame's beating girls up, this lame smacking girls around, this lame's kicking girls, this lame is, he's, I don't feel protected around him, but he didn't get the house shot up. You know what I'm saying? He didn't get you wasn't passenger side in the shooting. Like, oh, that's crazy. I thought I was going to die. This is exciting. You're not going to get that. It's going to be a boring life where, guess what? You're going to live at the end of the day. But the other thing I remember so much about that is, like, the ladies have this thing where, these guys are like pit bulls that you can cut on and off when you feel like it. And it don't work like that. It really don't work like that. And when these guys snap off on y'all, then it's an issue. You got to think about, like, and it manifests in other ways, like, because y'all take attacks as physical attacks and verbal attacks and relationship attacks. Like, y'all say y'all get attacked in a lot of different ways, but by these guys who are protecting you, because, he could have cussed you out real bad, and now you don't feel protected anymore. Then you shocked. He didn't cussed out everybody else. He didn't shot at everybody else. Now he, cussing you out and shooting at you out, shooting you. And what was that? Is it Summer Walker or Ari Lennox? Whoever was dating Moneybagg Yo, I saw that online, and she was talking about how, she was creating arguments with him and saying that she was going to leave, but she would have loved him to just pull his gun out and say, look, you ain't going nowhere. Like, that's what she really wanted. And it's like, say that would have really happened, you know, then you'll be screaming that you got shot. And he was abusive and it was a toxic relationship, and now you coming out with an album because you got shot, but he didn't do any of those things. So it's a good fantasy to have. And this is another thing about this topic is a lot of this, I want to be with somebody that's almost crazy, is a good fantasy to have until they actually, until it's actually happening to you. You know, I talked about it before where, you know, back in when I was younger, you know the girls who got killed for being with the guys. You know the girls who got shot and played dead for being with these guys. They didn't get protected. You know the girls who got killed by these guys. You know the girls who you know got kicked in the stomach when they were pregnant by his quote unquote ops or him. You know those type of situations. And it was always a shock, like, how is this gonna happen to me? And it's like, how is it not gonna happen to you? Like, this is where you put yourself. It's definitely gonna happen to you. You got yourself in this situation, and a lot of times people don't look at it that way, but that's just how it is, man. So I'm gonna leave it at that. You know, like, share, subscribe, or die. Try and catch you on the next one. Peace.